Let's talk about milk.
Laugh and we will go do the actual presentation. All right. So let's talk about milk. All right. So milk does the body good. It's a good source of calcium. It's good for your bones. The government recommends that you drink 3 glasses of milk every day. If you're a kid, 2 glasses of milk. Okay. But have you ever stopped to wonder why we're the only species? We're the only species
He's got milk.
that drinks from a different species. Have you ever stopped to think about that? Rhinos don't drink from giraffes. Giraffes don't drink from gorillas, and gorillas don't drink from other monkeys. But we're the only species that drinks milk from another species after we no longer need the nourishment. So today we're going to take a look at what is in the milk. What is in the milk, okay? How the milk is produced and how it affects our bodies, okay? So first we're gonna look at the process of how we get milk. In order to get milk, you have to have a pregnant cow. So what do? We wait for the bull to come and pregnate the cow. No, we don't do that because it takes way, way too long. So what farmers do is they take cows and they put them in racks. So picture 50 cows in racks, okay? We do what's called artificial insemination. The farmer comes, lifts the tail, sticks his entire arm into the vagina of the cow, then takes a long rod, which is called the L gun. At the tip of the L gun, it has the bull's sperm. They take the L gun, they put it through the cervix into the uterus, and they make the deposit, and that's how they get the cows pregnant, okay? Once the cow is pregnant, it is able to produce milk, okay?
That's true, I've seen this done.
Once it's produced milk, we can extract milk from the cow 3 times a day. 3 times a day, we will extract milk from that cow, okay? Eventually, the cow will give birth. It'll either give birth to a male or a female cow, okay? If it's a male cow, the male cows are sent over to special stables with other male cows where it's constrained into really tight quarters and it's chained so it doesn't get exercise. If it gets exercise, it grows really fast. If it grows really fast, it drives the cost of veal down. So they want to maximize profits. If it's a female cow, the female cow actually never drinks cow from its mother, never. Why? Because the milk is for us to buy and consume. So they take all the baby cows, they put them into stables, and they give them 2 buckets. One bucket has feed, and the second bucket has formula milk that the farmer has actually created, and that's basically how they're contained and grown into big cows. So what is really in the milk that you're drinking? So going back to those racks are really tight. And so when they're really tight and put together like that, they're really susceptible to diseases. So we have to pump a lot of antibiotics into the cows to make sure they don't get sick. If they get sick, the milk is bad, okay? So, and then we have to pasteurize the milk. Milk is only good for 2 to 3 days. So when we pasteurize it, it'll last a lot longer, have a much better shelf life, okay? So when the pasteurizing process, we take the milk and boil it to 180 to 200 degrees. In that process, it actually kills a lot of the nourishment of that milk, okay? In that milk, there's also a minimum of 750,000 somatic cells. Somatic cells is bacteria, sperm, and white blood cell, okay? That is basically a scientific term for pus. So there's a lot of pus in the milk. And then we have to homogenize the milk. The homogenizing process the purpose of this is to break down all that pus into really small, tiny droplets of pus. So when you get your milk, there's no separation. If we didn't homogenize the milk, it would separate it, and when you open up your milk, you have all this pus at the top, okay? So we homogenize it so you have a nice, clear, liquid consistency, okay? There's also a lot of hormones that are injected into the cows, okay? The reason for this is we want to get the maximized volume and flow from every time they capture and milk the cows for milk production. So because of that rapid growth and that massive flow, a lot of times the udders are infected with a disease called matitis. That matitis actually falls into the blood. Okay, so how does all this milk affect our bodies? Okay, so I talked about the pus, okay, which is also known as somatic cells. That is also been linked to acne. So what happens when you're a kid, you're growing up, you're drinking all this pus, then your hormones hit, okay, your human hormones hit, then you have the cow hormones, and then you get a nice explosion of pimples on your face. Okay, when you're a kid, a lot of that pus turns into mucus, and that's how a lot of kids get ear infections in their ears because of all the mucus from that pus. Okay, the pus also is linked to allergies. A lot of people develop allergies because of drinking too much milk. They become lactose intolerant. The USDA also allows one full droplet of pus in every glass of milk. Again, this is the USDA. Okay. Hormones are linked to early childhood menstruation. So a lot of girls nowadays are having their period way too soon, and that's because of all those hormones that are injected into the cows. Hormones are also contributed to weight gain, high cholesterol, saturated fat, and all this hormones and all this high dairy consumption. In any country where you find high dairy consumption, you'll always see higher rates of cancer, tumors, and heart disease. Not to mention gas, inflammation, diarrhea, and lots of bloating. Cow milk also has casein protein in it. Casein is very acidic. So when you get, your body has to have a certain amount of acidity and a certain amount of alkaline. When you have too much acidicness in your body, it has to neutralize it so your body can cope with it. So what it does, it takes a phosphate, this calcium phosphate from your bones to neutralize it so it can actually cope with it in your body. So what does that result into? Osteoporosis. So the more milk you drink, it's actually not that great for your body. Antibiotics, we talked about a lot of the cows get injected with a lot of antibiotics so that they don't get sick. What happens is as we're kids and we're drinking all this milk, all these antibiotics, when we actually do get sick and the doctor recommends antibiotics to us, we have built a tolerance and the antibiotics doesn't help us to prevent from getting sick, okay? So the FTC actually sued the dairy industry a long time ago because of their campaign, Milk Builds Strong Bones. They asked, hey, can you provide proof for us? So they couldn't provide proof. They lost the lawsuit, and now they have a new slogan, which everyone knows, Got Milk. Okay? So in conclusion, cow's milk by design is meant to grow baby calves. Baby calf, which is 75 pounds into 1 year, to about 400 pounds. A full-grown cow will weigh 1,700 pounds. The only reason we consume milk is for the dairy industry to make profits. Today, I discussed the process of milk, what is in the milk, and how it really affects our bodies. If anything I said today makes sense, try giving up milk for 1 month, then reintroduce milk into your body. That way you bring down your tolerance and you can really see the effects on your body. Then, while you're not drinking milk, listen to your body. See if your allergies clear up, if your acne clears up, if your face clears up, and if you feel less bloated, and if you have more energy. I challenge you to take the 1 month milk challenge and find out for yourself if milk is really good for you.